Usually halfway through a car's life, a manufacturer will give it a minor refresh, but Mercedes clearly thought its E-Class hadn't aged particularly well because they've given it some major surgery, as this is perhaps one of the most extreme facelifts I've ever seen. Well, on a car. At the front, the two-piece headlamps have been replaced by single-unit lights. In fact, the whole front is new, and as with the C-Class, the E-Class is now offered with two grille designs. Though in the UK, we only get the sports version, which has a big, brash, three-pointed star in the middle to leave people in no doubt you own a Mercedes, and are therefore a success. And the pre-facelifted version of the E-Class used to have this arch over the rear wheel, and it kind of looks a bit rubbish, whereas now you've got these two bold creases, which I think looks a lot better. There have been some significant changes inside the cabin too. All cars come with faux leather on the seats that is so realistic you'd never know it was faux. And you can upgrade to have it on the dash and top of the door trims too. The car also has some redesigned heater vents, which are now made out of metal, apparently because the Chinese didn't like the old plasticky ones. You can now only get the E-Class in two different trim levels to make it easier to decide which model to buy. But I'm going to make it even easier for you now. Just get the SE because it's pretty much got all the kit you're ever going to need. For instance, as standard, it comes with satellite navigation, digital radio, Bluetooth for your mobile phone, USB connectivity. You also control everything using this swivel wheel menu system. You've also got automatic lights and wipers, plus electric seats, and they're heated as well. Also, all but the entry-level E220 CDI comes with an automatic gearbox as standard, and the selector's no longer here in the middle. It's up on the steering column, which I think is a much better position for it. Speaking of which, you can alter the steering electrically. It's a Mercedes. You shouldn't have to do things manually. That's why you can open the boot with a key fob rather than using your hand, and then you are greeted by a big load space. As for life for rear passengers, well, there's plenty of headroom, knee room's good as well, and because the front seats are slightly raised, you can slide your feet underneath them. These back seats are reclined as well and very comfy, so it's quite easy to nod off back here. If there is one gripe, there's quite a large transmission tunnel there, but it's a similar situation on this car's rivals. And anyway, in the back here, two's company, three's a crowd. The E-Class comes with a raft of safety equipment, including 9 airbags, anti-skid control and Mercedes Attention Assist. You can also get blind spot and lane departure warning on the options list, and a clever cruise control which will operate the steering as well as the throttle to keep you in lane on the motorway. All that safety kit should leave you feeling safe and sound. In fact, the E-Class is great for isolating you from the outside world. You've got brilliant sound insulation, so it's always very quiet, even at speed, and the adaptable suspension is brilliant at just gliding over bumps in the road, especially in this SE trim model because it actually has a softer setup. Then there's the seats. I could go for miles in these. Now, most of you will know that the E-Class is rear-wheel drive, and that means you get this lovely sensation of being pushed out of corners. And the car, it does handle reasonably well, but if I'm honest, it's more set up for cruising than hard cornering, and really if you want a executive car that's lots of fun, you're probably going to be better off going for the sharper Jaguar XF, which also has better steering. Another minor issue with the E-Class is the entry-level 2.1 litre diesel engine, because it's a little bit rattly and it's not as clean or economical as the entry-level 2 litre diesel you can get in the BMW 5 Series. You know what I say is just upgrade, get the 3 litre because it's much better. Another problem maybe is the automatic gearbox. In automatic mode, it's fine, it sloshes gears together beautifully, but if you want to change gears yourself using these paddles, it's not as fast reacting as the S-tronic dual clutch gearbox in the Audi A6. Finally, there are the small side door bins, the fact that E-Class still uses a foot operated parking brake, and what's with the old fashioned dash mounted clock? I don't know, maybe the Chinese like them. Overall though, the E-Class is still a great car. It's a fantastic thing to travel in, and this extensive facelift is bound to make it more popular than ever. Now you've seen our review of the E-Class,